Today, I want to talk about a really serious topic, one that can be pretty uncomfortable: retirement betrayal, and why families sometimes turn against each other over inheritance. I worked as a financial advisor for over 8 years before I retired, and in that time, I saw dozens, maybe even hundreds, of situations where inheritance became a huge point of conflict. Now, the good news is that in about 90% of cases, everything gets sorted out peacefully. But in that other 10%, things can go very, very wrong. And the most painful outcome, the one no parent ever wants to see, is when siblings, cousins, and other relatives start fighting over the inheritance, slowly tearing the family apart. So, why does this happen? A lot of people think it's just about the money dividing up bank accounts, savings, and other assets. On the surface, that seems pretty straightforward, but in reality, some of the deepest conflicts come from things that aren't purely financial. Who gets mum's favorite necklace? Who inherits her wedding ring? What about dad's cherished watch, or the car he spent years restoring? Even though these items have monetary value, the real issue is the emotional attachment. Those feelings can create lasting tension if they're not handled carefully and early on. The best way to prevent this kind of stress is to have open conversations ahead of time, especially while parents are still healthy and can communicate their wishes clearly. One of the healthiest things I've seen families do is have these discussions during a family gathering, maybe a holiday, a birthday, or any time everyone is together. You can go through personal belongings together and figure out which items hold special meaning for each person. It's okay if more than one person feels attached to the same thing. The important part is having that conversation while your parents are still around, so everyone's expectations are clear and there are no misunderstandings later. If these talks don't happen until after the parents have passed, siblings can still work things out peacefully. It just takes open, respectful communication. For example, if two people want the same item, they can explore fair alternatives instead of letting resentment build up. Beyond sentimental items, financial disputes can also cause major problems. This often happens when one person feels they deserve a larger share of the inheritance. I've seen this play out in two common scenarios. The first is when parents own a business and one child has dedicated years of their life to working in it, while their siblings chose different career paths. In those cases, it's really important for parents to think it through and explain their decisions clearly while they are still alive, so everyone understands the reasoning behind it. The second situation involves caregiving. Sometimes one sibling lives close by and spends years caring for their aging parents, handling doctor's appointments, managing caregivers, and providing daily support, while other siblings live far away. There's no single right or wrong answer here. What matters is what feels fair to the family, and that decision should be discussed well in advance. Of course, there's a third reality we can't ignore. Sometimes the issue is simply greed or selfishness. And if that behavior has been a pattern for years, parents are usually already aware of it. In those situations, you might need stronger safeguards. One option is to include a clause in the will or trust, stating that if anyone challenges it, they risk losing some more of their inheritance. It's a serious step, but in some families, it can prevent much bigger problems down the road. This is why working with an experienced estate planning attorney is so important. You need someone who not only understands the law, but also brings wisdom and perspective to these complex family dynamics. From my experience, a well-thought-out plan can bring a family closer, while an unclear one can tear it apart. Time and again, I've seen that the biggest fights aren't about the money at all, but about the emotional attachments we tend to underestimate. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit from this message. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.